And we are set to go tonight in this second round matchup. Auburn, the overall #1 seed. Creighton, a 9 seed, and away we go. Auburn controls the tip. Doug Sermons, Brent Hampton, Steven Anderson, our 3 officials. Owen Short, the standby official. And the first shot is from Miles Kelly. And Kalkbrenner secures the rebound. Creighton's first possession. They are run by Stephen Ashworth, the transfer out of Utah State. Jemiah Neal with the ball in his hands, a career game. 29 points in a stat-stuffing performance on Thursday. And Neal's going to let it fly. That'll be an air ball. And both teams hold serve defensively to get us started here, Jimmy.
But you see a little difference here with Chad Baker-Mazara at 6'7", guarding Jemiah Neal. That's going to be a little different matchup. Now, he's cross-matched on the other end because he's not guarding the same. So he's guarding Miles Kelly.
Auburn with Baker-Mazara, who lit up in a past college basketball life as a member of San Diego State. That was back in 2022. Had a 17-point performance against Creighton. Now he's at Auburn.
That game we called. We were there in Fort Worth for that.
These matchups out on the perimeter are going to be key tonight. Denver Jones gets the Stephen Ashworth assignment. Jones, an outstanding defender in his own right. Neal gives it up. Kalkbrenner, he'll shoot it from out there. And he banks one in. He called it. I heard it. Ryan Kalkbrenner. He knocked down a 3 in round 1 against Louisville, and he hits one here unconventional style.
Yeah, we knew he could shoot it, but showing off that touch right there is critical. Now look where Kalkbrenner is playing. He's playing right in the middle of the lane.
Chani Broom can't get that one to go. Matched up by Jason Green, the Omaha native. That's going to be a key matchup to watch as well.
Hey, Brian, I don't know if you saw that little screen that Broom put on inside on Kalkbrenner. Oh, there it is. And here's another key to the game. Auburn, from a defensive perspective, one of the weaknesses is giving up from the defending. Their strength is defending the three-point line. Creighton was 11 for 24 last game.
9 of those came in the first half. 4 of those made by Ashworth. He sets up McAndrew, who missed it. They can fill it up from beyond the arc. Creighton is a very familiar pro-style type of offense. They move it well. They want threes, and they want layups, and they've got a 7-footer in the middle that wreaks havoc on both ends of the floor. Baker-Mazara, the lefty, cashes in a 3.
Well, you would think conventional wisdom would say you want to slow it down a little bit against Auburn, but that's not the way the coaching staff for Creighton is thinking. If we can get out and run, that's what he said, we have more opportunities for some cleaner looks. Like right there, the quick offense, but Neal not able to knock it in.
Good defense there by Dylan Cardwell, picking up Neal. He is a great playmaker, as is Baker-Mazara. He is a real wild card in this game. Kelly gets by Neal, can't hit the lamp. Cardwell's there, offensive board and a putback.
When a drive penetration, it attract now Ryan Kalkbrenner. And when the miss is up, advantage Auburn with the size as it came out. Cardwell timed it perfectly, put it up and in.
Crowd's into it. Electric in here at famed Rupp Arena. Here's Green, guarded by Broom. Kalkbrenner going to pull another 3. This one short. And Jani Broom secures the rebound. Denver Jones at the controls. Jones guarded by Ashworth. Ashworth, a pesky defender on the perimeter as well. This was the hot hand for Auburn, Miles Kelly. Mazara puts it up, quick shot. Nothing there. Here comes Creighton. Ashworth always looking to push. Stephen Ashworth hit 4 threes in Creighton's victory over Louisville. They put 89 points on the board in that game. Beat them 89-75, what felt like a road game for Creighton. It was 90% Louisville fans in this arena Thursday. Late clock, Neal trying to create on his own. Kelly with him, step for step, lost the handle, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. They are pumped. What a start. 7-6, Auburn leads it, takes us to our first timeout. First four coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues tonight on ESPN2. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. Good start. There's Allie LaForce. And Allie, it's all about the D and all in the family here with Auburn.
You got it, Ryan. Well, coaching is all about adjusting and adapting, and Bruce Pearl took a page out of the football playbook when he went to revamp this Auburn program. We often associate the terms offensive and defensive coordinator with a football program, but Auburn basketball has them as well. Pearl's defensive coordinator, Steven, happens to be Bruce's son. Steven played for Bruce at Tennessee, and then their basketball connection continued. And I asked Steven, was it harder to play for Bruce or coach for him? And he didn't hesitate. The answer was obviously much harder to play for him. He said he doesn't miss those practices where even if someone else made a mistake, coach was not hesitant to take it out on Steven. That's not the case anymore. He has the utmost respect for his son. He's doing an excellent job.
Steven, a tough-minded defensive player for his dad at Tennessee. And they are a great combo. They got a great coaching staff. Both of these sides do. A couple of threes rain in. Start this second window. Now Jemiah Neal trying to get loose. After 29 on Thursday, Chaney Johnson's first minutes on the floor, pulls down his first board.
Yeah, but Neal's going to have to be a little bit more patient in this game because he's not going to have the quickness, size, or athletic advantage he had as in last game. A good defense right there by Kalkbrenner and Broom inside.
Kalkbrenner and Broom, two of the biggest stars in the men's game right now. Here's McAndrew, quick release, the freshman. He proved he was worthy. He came out in his first NCAA tournament game, hit some threes. Minnesota Mr. Basketball a year ago, knocked in 3 threes, scored 11 points against Louisville. Tahad Pettiford, talented freshman point guard. His first minutes on the floor as well. Not afraid either. And he rains in a three. And he's calling right away. That Auburn mantra, call God when you do something well. They put it on T-shirts.
Great bounce back for Pettiford. You know, he was 0 for 8 versus Tennessee in the SEC tournament, but yesterday 16 points, 5 for 9, and coming out with confidence on that pull-up three.
A lot of threes are flying right now. Creighton's put up 7. Auburn's put up 6 and made half of them. All of Creighton's points are from three-point range as Johnson denies Kalkbrenner 6 to shoot.
Let's go back to pace of play. Creighton in transition. Why is it important? Because now the matchups sometimes get caught. And that time, a poor switch, you get caught. And then this is in transition as well. Dribble to the strong side, dribble penetration on the baseline. You kick it over. Now you got cleaner looks.
That's what you like about McAndrew, too. Quick release, and he is 6'10".
Exactly.
Turnover. Kelly, who loves shooting it rough. That's blocked by that 6'10" freshman McAndrew.
That's right.
Neal to Ashford. Boy, Auburn gets back in a flash.
They better get back because the threes will be readily available for this Blue Jays team if not. Kelly
tasked with Ashford duty right now. And he lost it out of bounds. Little flustered, normally sure-handed point guard. Third turnover already for Creighton.
Well, close to the sideline. That sideline becomes a secondary defender. Ashford looking up. He had his head up. He was trying to set something else up, but again, pressure sometimes will even make the best ball handler, lose control every now and then.
Pettiford gets a shot off, but it's a foul first on big Dylan Cardwell on the screen. And it's going the other way. An Auburn turnover, their first.
Now, see, in that instance there, Tahad Pettiford had enough clearance.
Yeah.
So Cardwell didn't need to move. Because even if Pettiford had to go over another step, he still would have been clean enough and open enough to get that shot up. Those are the fouls you have to avoid, especially when you have to guard Kalkbrenner.
McAndrew again. I mean, a lightning bolt out of his hands. 2 threes already. And Creighton in front. McAndrew's got a quick 6, just knocking down 2 contested three-pointers. Chaney Johnson backing his way in. Chaney Johnson elevates and scores. That's the matchup they want to try to exploit. Taking the freshman, who is slight of build, down on the block when they can. McAndrew, shot fake, reset. Ashworth. Zugic, first minutes on the floor. Battling a bum ankle. They pull the chair, and He walks with it. Pettiford, crafty, pulled the chair and causes the turnover.
Yeah, but it's McAndrew right here, freshman, but not afraid.
Three-pointers are flying here. Time for the power forward presented by Nissan. Creighton has 10 field goal attempts. 8 of those are threes. And they've hit 5 already. McAndrew's gotten loose with a couple. Allie LaForce with Bruce Pearl a moment ago.
Well, Coach, defensively, you held Kalkbrenner to just 2 shot attempts. What's the strategy there, and how do you continue to limit him?
Well, first of all, I'd rather comment on this. It's so institutionally neutral. You got every color in the building.
I am an objective reporter, Coach. Thank you.
Kalkbrenner, you know, we're just doing a good job of trying to front him out of the post. We got to get out there and switch out of the 3 balls. This team can't beat us from 2, but it can from 3.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
A center's best friend is outside shooting. So you say, well, why is Creighton shooting all these threes early on? You're setting them up, because if you can hit those shots early, now you're going to have more space for Ryan Kalkbrenner to work one-on-one, because you're more hesitant to peel down, help inside, and give up more threes.
Well, you heard Bruce Pearl. They can't beat us from 2. They can beat us from 3 as Johnson comes out of the timeout, hits a mid-range jumper. Creighton against Louisville made 11 threes. They made 9 in the first half, and then everything started to work in their favor in the paint. An impressive victory over the 8 seed in the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, it was those plays like that that opened up for Creighton. In the short roll, Ryan Kalkbrenner. In the post, mid-post, he was open, because you were getting sprayed upon from the 3-point line early on, and that's what you kind of want. But that's excellent defense that time by denying the backdoor cut by Neal.
Auburn knows there will be opportunities to turn over Creighton. They're a high turnover team, but they're a high passing team, high volume passing. And that one's in and out. Nice take to the basket by Denver Jones. Zugic fouled him. He'll go to the line for 2. Auburn by 2 with free throws coming. And we remind you, TNT is your new home for Roland Garros, second Grand Slam event on the tennis circuit. You can watch the stars of the tennis world descend on Paris. And the famed red clay begins May 25th on TNT and streaming on Max.
Well, congrats to you for being the face for TNT, for Turner there. First time.
Well, thank you.
You know, big
I'll
time.
just be the one reading all the promos.
That's right. Read the promos. I may have to fly over so I can get a hookup.
Yeah, we'll welcome you. We'll welcome you on the red clay.
Thank you. Now, here's Bruce Pearl talked about this. 18 for 32 from the free throw line in the last game. Got to be better.
Yeah.
You know, that time Denver Jones able to get to the line and make it count.
Auburn beat Alabama State by 20, but you didn't get that vibe from Bruce Pearl. He's trying to keep the air in the blue with his team. Nice pass by Zugic. Kalkbrenner met by Cardwell. Big body in there. Cardwell goes 6'11", matching up with a 7'1". Ryan Kalkbrenner. Pettiford left open, and 1 and done. In the corner, Zugic passes up a 3, drives, hangs, is fouled. Man, went right down on his knee. Zugic is such a wild card for Creighton, Jimmy. You followed this team quite a bit in the Big East. He rolled his ankle in the Big East title game, but he did come back. He gave them good minutes, played 12 minutes in their round 1 game against Louisville. If he goes, their bench all of a sudden elevates to a level Greg McDermott likes.
Right, 6'6". Now, he's only shooting 31% from the 3, but he is a threat. But he's more of a threat of putting it on the deck and getting to the basket, like we saw in that previous play.
Refresh the madness with Coke Zero Sugar to get an exclusive offer in the Wendy's app.
I will say this too, on that play in transition, it was Chaney Johnson trying to scramble to get to Zugic. One thing you got to do is match up early. If not, those long closeouts, Creighton is going to drive you in. Yeah, they'll shoot the 3 and 2 missed free throws, but you got to be able to come under control, close short, and if the shot goes up, be able to contest. But you can't give up that straight line drive.
Isaac Trout on the floor for Creighton. 3-pointer missed. And Broom, an offensive rebound, and he's fouled by Ashworth. Offensive rebound starting to stack up here for Auburn. They already have 4 offensive boards. Creighton has yet to clear one. Side out for the Tigers. The overall #1 seed in the South region, Jimmy, which is stacked. Winner of this game is going to face the winner of Michigan A&M, which is coming down to the wire on CBS right now. And the regional is going to be in Atlanta. So if Auburn can survive Lexington, Kentucky, they're going to be right in their backyard for the regional. Creighton, a 9 seed, trying to make yet another trip to a Sweet 16. Neal being bothered by 3 Auburn Tigers. He's having a hard time getting any space to operate right now, Jemiah Neal.
Well, he was high on the scouting report, of course. So kind of tendencies, what is it? He wants to beat you off the dribble, get to his right hand. So now you force him into more crowded space, make him have to operate kind of like in a phone booth. And right now, it's not paying off early for Jemiah Neal, trying to go one-on-one against this tough Auburn defense.
Here's Trout. And he sets up Zugic. Zugic hits a 3. Kid from Montenegro, Fedor Zugic. This guy was playing in the Euro League at 15. Youngest ever to play in the Euro League. And here he is as a freshman doing his thing in the NCAA tournament. First trip here with a roster full of experienced Creighton players at the dance. It's going to be a foul on Kalkbrenner. Just as Broom was going into his moves, Kalkbrenner commits the foul.
Well, excellent off-ball movement, a brush screen to get Zugic just enough clearance. Broom a little late to the party. But again, guarding the weak side of the floor is going to be critical. Also, what Creighton does, they do a lot of screening to the weak side. Beautiful pass inside.
Johnson inside, catch and finish. Good call. The baseline out of bounds.
And that's one of Bruce Pearl's favorite things to accomplish is underneath out of bounds. They were concerned that Kalkbrenner would just be staying and submitted in the middle of the lane. They moved him out that time, was able to get an easy basket inside.
Bruce Pearl told us yesterday Creighton's costing us 10 points tonight as Ashworth springs free inside. Good pass there by Jason Green. That's the first 2-point basket for Creighton. That's going to be the theme tonight. Remember, Pearl said they can't beat us from 2. If we let them get loose from 3, we're in trouble. Jones turned away. Jones has to put up a tough shot, and he gets a friendly bounce. Denver Jones, all SEC defensive team, coming off 8 points against Alabama State on Thursday. Ashworth tried to draw a foul. Kalkbrenner is there. Offensive board and a stuff for the big man.
Yeah, but that time Ashford wanted the foul, but he didn't call it. Listen, this is the #2 2-point field goal shooting team in the country in Creighton. So you got to take away some of the easy ones.
Ashworth trying to turn the corner. He fires up a 3. Got it. He is a smooth stroker out there. Stephen Ashworth made half of his 3s against Louisville. Shoots at 37% during the year. He's creeping up on 2,000 points in his career at the collegiate level. Johnson, long 2. This kind of shot Creighton wants Auburn to shoot right there. Ashworth and Jones fouls him on the floor. Timeout. Creighton starting to roll now.
Well, the beauty of Stephen Ashworth's game is this. Multiple movements, always on the run, and then the ability set the screen, clear the space, shoot the 3. Talk a little bit. Got Creighton up 2 right now.
There's a look at our tournament summary. How about UConn going for 3 straight, and they advance, and they've got top-seeded Florida tomorrow. And couldn't do a game from Rupp Arena without talking about Cal and Pitino, and they matched up today. John Calipari, Arkansas, moving on. A moment ago, Greg McDermott standing by with Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach, you said this couldn't be a live ball turnover game and you wanted to have an advantage on the boards. They have the edge there, but you're overcoming it. So what do you nitpick at here?
We're not going to overcome it for 40 minutes, so we better fix it. We've missed a couple blockouts, and then there's just been a couple kind of a broken play where they were able to score. So, when the ball moves, our offense has been good. It's got a little sticky sometimes, and that happens against a team that pressures like Auburn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Coach McDermott is right. Listen, against a team that's as explosive as Auburn, you can't give up second shots. and you can't give up points off turnovers, okay? You clean that up. Now you make Auburn shoot in the half court and operate. Listen, right now, 23 shots. 8 of those are coming from 3, so that means they're 6 for 15 right now from 2. You want to make Auburn make tough 2-point shots.
Zugic has to go in the backcourt to get it in. 7.5 minutes left in this first half. Been very entertaining. We figured it would be. Creighton out of the Big East made it to the tournament championship game. Lost to St. John's. Auburn, the overall #1 seed. Janai Broom guarded by Green. And Broom gets to the middle and is fouled. Creighton not a team that fouls a lot. Matter of fact, they commit the fewest fouls on average in the nation, which means they limit free throws, but there's a few fouls stacking up here.
I want you to watch this exchange right here. Watch what Cardwell does on Kalkbrenner. He's going to screen him. Why is that important? Because now Kalkbrenner can't be active in trying to block shots. That's the 3rd time it's happened when it went into the post.
Inside, Cardwell gets stuck underneath. Quick release. Oh, Kalkbrenner there defending it. Is going to get called for the foul here. So Jimmy, 5th team foul, 2nd foul on Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Well, let's see the action inside. Cardwell understanding that Ryan is there. The reach down didn't need to do it, and then the slap across.
That was uncharacteristic of Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, he usually does not commit those kind of mistakes, but it's very smart on Cardwell's perspective to use the pump fake.
Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device. March Madness Live. It's a must. You can download it now.
Guess what? Ryan Kalkbrenner is still in the game, understanding the importance of these last 6:55.
He's never fouled out of a game in his collegiate career.
Great point.
He's got 2 pinned on him early. It's funny, Greg McDermott told us yesterday he almost never goes for the shot fake. And he just did. Dylan Cardwell got him. Big story early. Ashworth pulls the big man out. Got the mismatch. And now Green going to work on Baker Mazzara. Turn around, no good. Baker Mazzara, as slightly built as he is, stood his ground.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. One, recovery on the defensive side, then contesting up top without fouling.
Deflected by McAndrew. It'll be Auburn ball. 19 to shoot. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 169th game. He's had 13 with 4 fouls, and McDermott is going to lift him here as we hit the 6:17 mark. Checking in for Creighton is Frederick King. So key minutes now for Creighton without their big man as Kelly missed it. Broom, another offensive rebound, and a nice little spin. Around and down it goes.
And you see why he's a, first team All-American of consensus, and also maybe National Player of the Year. His ability to rebound. Oh, another turnover almost.
McAndrew recovers. Set up McAndrew for 3. Got another one. Jackson McAndrew. Well, he's out of Minnesota. Freshman has arrived here in the 2nd round. He's got 9 points on 3 made threes.
And the better he progressed on the defensive end, the more minutes he began to receive.
Pettifer comes back, hits a mid-range jumper. It's almost like these 2 freshmen are answering each other. Too tall for King. Ashworth turns it over.
Well, he's used to making that pass to Ryan Kalkbrenner right there.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was a little bit out of the reach of Frederick King, and that's turnover number 6. Again, against this Auburn team, because they're so good defensively and offensively, empty possessions come back to haunt you.
Both teams have had little mini burst in this game. Auburn had an 8-0 run earlier. Creighton a 9-3. And Broom missed it. King the rebound. Ashworth sets up Neal. Neal slices to the basket. Denied. Janai Broom with the block. Baker Mazzara. He cannot lay it in. The foul by Cardwell. Big fella running the floor. Timeout.
is a 30-second timeout stretching to a quarter.
And sometimes your offense is your best defense and defense your best offense. And here it is. The block shot out in transition. You don't get the first one. Cardwell says, give me all 2 of these.
Horse country here in Lexington, Kentucky. Great to be here. First time they've had an NCAA men's tournament here in 12 years. So great to be back. Auburn and Creighton giving us a show so far. Auburn just took the lead. They lead at 29-28. Now you see the field goals are flying from 3 right now. Creighton's already knocked down 8. And then 22 3-point attempts thus far combined. Brian Anderson, Jim Jackson, Ali LaForce, our producer Tom Heights, director Matt Lipp, our terrific crew here in Lexington. Great to have you with us. Auburn, the overall #1 seed, taking on Creighton. 9 seed out of the Big East. Kalkbrenner back on the floor, air ball. Tough start for Kalkbrenner, 2 fouls. He did knock down a 3, but not getting what he usually gets inside, Jim.
But this is something that Dylan Cardwell is not, he's not uncomfortable with. Why? Because his former teammate back in 2022 was Walker Kessler. So he's used to battling inside against size. So you saw him kind of stand up. Kalkbrenner that time didn't budge.
Kelly, around and out it goes.
And watch him. Get down low, use that arm bridge. Don't allow Kalkbrenner to get to his sweet spot. And at the end, pushed him out just a little bit further to make that jump hook a little bit more uncomfortable.
Cardwell having a nice game. Got on his horse, ran it down, got the follow dunk to put Auburn back in front. Here's Neal, and Neal rattles one in. And Jemiah Neal had one of the all-time Creighton NCAA tournament games Thursday. 29 points, a career high for him. He only missed 5 shots. He hit 5 free throws, knocked down a couple of threes, had 6 assists. Creighton hoping to see Neal get loose. Kelly defends him. And a bad pass. Neal throws it away. And Creighton turns it over again. Their 7th. All the intensity of the NCAA tournament. Round 2, Creighton and Auburn off to a great start. How about that? Purdue won earlier today, 10-0.
10-0.
If Michigan hangs on, UCLA, the legendary Big Ten school.
I know.
I know that sounds strange.
It's still sounding strange.
They're on this floor after this one is Jemiah Neal in transition, and Creighton up by 3. Creighton gets a bucket on a fast break.
Got to match up early. You know this Creighton team wants to get out and run with you.
Pettiford's had an answer a couple times. Broom hasn't filled up the scoring box, but a ton of offensive boards. He's drawn 3 fouls. He's going to pull a 3. And he missed it badly. Pettiford there. Role reversal as Tahad Pettiford cleans up the miss from Broom.
Yeah, but the positive with Broom shooting that jump shot was that Kalkbrenner was out the lane. So that just opens it up for another offensive rebound. That's the 7th for the Tigers here in the first half, and the 11th second chance point.
Pettiford right with Neal, rises up over, missed it. Broom another rebound. Broom is cleaning up the glass. He's got 6 rebounds, 2 of those offensive.
Broom's presence is opening up opportunities for his team. May not be scoring a lot from that perspective, but he still is having a positive effect on what Auburn is doing in this game.
Shot clock down to 7. Here's Johnson now. Johnson lays it in.
I mean, the seal inside created the drive. And when we get a chance, I'm going to show you why that's effective, and a smart adjustment put on display right now by Bruce Pearl to negate Kalkbrenner's shot blocking ability.
That figures to be Greg McDermott's primary teach at halftime. They're getting abused on that. Inside, Jason Green, the Omaha native. He lays it in. He gives Creighton a 34-33 lead. Under a minute and a half to go here in the first half. South region here. moving to Atlanta into the Sweet 16, the winner. What is a loaded region. Kelly drives it, missed it. Neal out of the pack. Auburn gets back. Neal shifty, but he's got athletes guarding him everywhere, and he can't get free. Kalkbrenner with the 2 fouls. Shot fake, jump hook, no good. Broom's bothering him.
He is too. He's making Kalkbrenner work too. A little fatigued, a little bit more, especially because he has to help him recover on the defensive end. Legs are not as underneath him as he would like.
The putback by Broom, this time cleaning it up for Pettiford.
Yeah, he's breathing heavy right now, and hence he could not recover after he tried to contest a shot by Pettiford.
Auburn in front. Creighton with the ball, and Ashworth falls to the ground. That's going to be a foul. Kelly down in a heap. Pettiford down as well. And they get Kelly.
See the foul. I thought Ashworth just lost it here. He lost it right there. So where's the foul? Oh, he fell on top of him. But at that point, I thought maybe it'd be a jump ball situation. But it's at the end. Ashworth loses it, and then on top, that's where the foul comes in.
Ashworth has a couple of turnovers. Been a little loose with the ball. He's got elite level defenders hounding him wherever he goes. McAndrews had the hot hand, and he hits another one. Oh man, Jackson McAndrew, his 4th made 3, 12 first half points. Creighton back in front. Pettiford will take it to the end. Shot clock is off. Auburn can grab the lead. Pettiford drives, puts it up, not there. Zugic lost it, and whoa, got a call there maybe. That was called Creighton ball. Yeah, and Doug Sermon saying off the backside.
Yeah, from back here, it looked like it was Creighton that lost it as Zugic had it in his hands, but the official is saying it went off the back of an Auburn player, but unfortunately we can't see the replay.
Doug Sermon's one of the best in the game. And out of the hands of Ashworth, Baker Mazzara defending. Wow, what a first half of basketball. Creighton up 2 as we go into the halftime locker rooms. What a matchup here between the 1 and the 9. McAndrew, hot hand, Jim.
I mean, just not afraid of the moment. I mean, the potential is there right now. He's the X factor for Creighton in his first half.
Still to Allie LaForce.
Well, Stephen, 50% from the field, over 60% as a team from 3. How'd you put your teammates in a position to be comfortable out there and get the right looks?
Yeah, I mean, the guys are spaced on the court really, really well. Obviously, when you got a guy like Jackson McAndrew, he lights it up from anywhere. And then Kalk, although he hasn't scored as much, he's putting a lot of pressure on the rim for us, which is giving us open looks around the perimeter.
How concerned are you with the turnovers, and is that something you believe you can clean up in the second?
Yeah, obviously they're an elite defensive team, especially in the half court. I myself got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball, make sure we get a shot every possession. Can't have empty possessions, but we can fix most of our turnovers.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks.
Stephen Ashworth, Creighton's point guard. And the Blue Jays out in front by 2. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Get all the scores and highlights, plus the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up, AT&T at the half. Got a good one here in Lexington. Just about ready for the second half here in Lexington. The overall #1 seed, the Auburn Tigers, down 2 to the 9 seed out of the Big East, the Creighton Blue Jays. Look at the 3-pointers for Creighton. 9 made 3s in that first half. They matched their number from the game against Louisville Thursday. Moment ago, Allie in the tunnel with Dylan Cardwell.
Well, Dylan, you were so successful in the first half, both on the boards and in your defensive Kalkbrenner. He only scored 5 points. What was the strategy there, and do you feel confident in maintaining that here in the second half?
You know, first and foremost, all glory to God. You know, he's a great player, and it's just going to be interesting to see if we can keep it up. They're going to make some adjustments. I'm ready to see before they do.
What was Coach on you guys about during the half?
3 balls. They've shot so many open 3. They're a great 3-point shooting team. Just running off the line.
Dylan Cardwell knows he was a big factor in that first half, Jim Jackson. It's time for It Takes More, presented by Powerade.
Well, I talked about why Caldwell's so accustomed to battling big guys. Kessler Walker there, starting center for Utah. He's done a little bit of everything, so he's accustomed to battling against a big man inside, and he's doing all the little things necessary. Janai Broom's going to get all the credit, but you need someone else to balance that off, and that's something Cardwell has been able to do all season.
Well, he's been big on the offensive glass, 3 offensive rebounds, leading to 7 of their 11 second chance points. As we kick it over to Allie LaForce. Allie, you're busy back there in the halftime wheel. You heard from Bruce Pearl. What'd you learn?
That's what it's all about, especially when we have the access that we do. Well, Coach Pearl focused all on defense at halftime. He said our bigs have to get up higher. We know the only way they're going to beat us is from 3, so we're doing everything to take that away, but they're good at it, and they hit some really tough shots. But we have to continue to push up without fouling, and that's all we can do.
Creighton hit 9 threes against Louisville in the first half, made just 2 in the second half. But their 3-point shooting, Jimmy, as you pointed out, is what set up their second half against Louisville on Thursday. Stephen Ashworth, Allie talked to him going out, said he needs to handle the ball a little bit better and clean it up. First play, a lob to Kalkbrenner, wasn't quite ready for it. And an empty set, first trip out for Greg McDermott's Blue Jays. Denver Jones rattles in a 3, and just like that, Auburn back in front.
Well, good teams make you play. And it almost seemed like Ryan Kalkbrenner was looking for the defender to be there instead of the opening. But it was a good way to get him open to the rim. It just didn't happen, and then Jones made him pay behind the 3-point line.
You heard Jay Wright at the half talk about Stephen Ashworth. He does play most of the game, typically all of the game. Played 40 minutes on Thursday. You know Auburn is going to be on him as Neal gets into the paint and is fouled on a jumper. And Jemiah Neal will have 2. Just 4 points in the first half for Neal.
Well, you go back to this, Janai Broom bringing the ball up the court, kind of directing traffic, and that time caught everybody's attention, which is smart because the defense shifted to his side. Denver Jones able to kind of quietly walk into that 3-point look.
Jemiah Neal had that career game against Louisville and has been quiet today. He just has not been able to dribble himself free. He is a slasher. He's a guy you can give the ball to late clock, let him create, and he did a ton of that Thursday against Louisville.
But against this Auburn team, they're very good on-ball defenders, so rarely will you be able to beat them directly off the dribble. Now, if the ball is swinging side to side, the defense is moving. Now you catch it and attack. Now you have a better chance of, speaking of which, right there, Baker Brazzard right there coming from the strong side, occupying once again Ryan Kalkbrenner inside, taking away his ability to affect the shot once you get to the rim.
Baker Mazzara had a quick 5 in the first half and his first point since. Neal misses badly. Green with the offensive rebound. That's his shot right there, that little baby jump hook.
Yeah, but it was the pump fake or the ball fake to Kalkbrenner that froze the defense that allowed him to get to that left shoulder right-hand jump hook.
Auburn dominating the offensive glass and the second chance point, but that was a big one for Green and Creighton. Jones covered by Ashworth, gets free, missed it, and I believe they're going to get McAndrew here crashing in.
It might be Green on the ground.
Yeah. Good call. It is on Jason Green. Be his second.
Well, that's because Janai Broom got on the inside of him. Watch it right here. Okay? And that's just grown man strength. Get out the way. Let me get this rebound.
Using all of his assets.
All of his assets right there.
Looking like Barkley cleared him out there in his Auburn days. Baker Mazzara guarded by McAndrew. Gets free on the screen. Cash. Chad Baker Mazzara hits a big 3 and having the kind of start to the second half that he did in the first.
Kind of setting the table offensively for the Tigers.
He's into double figures. Ashworth pulling a Steve Nash, his favorite player. Shot fake, no. Cardwell there defending. A big presence. Altered that shot. Jones got Ashworth on his back. Pulls him back. Reset here. Denver Jones, Auburn point guard. Now the hot hand. Baker Mazzara. Crossover behind the back. Shifty. McAndrew's trying to stay with him. Baker Mazzara trying to draw the foul. Cannot. And that's going to be Creighton ball on the air ball. And Bruce Pearl is incensed.
Yeah, I get it, but the refs wasn't going to bother him. They were not going to. Let's see if he catches him. He may have got a little bit on the under shooting hand. So he may have a case right there. Let's take a look at this angle here. That's too quick. But it was a forced shot anyway. I don't think the officials felt they were going to bail him out by giving him the foul.
Doug Sermons, Brett Hampton, Steven Anderson are 3 officials. Here goes Green. Boone picks him up. Ashworth just shovels one to Neal. Neal frustrated. You can see in his body language. He cannot get himself loose. Cardwell staying with him step for step. Tough fadeaway. No good. Hey, mark one down for Dylan Cardwell.
Nope. He is the MVP right now for Auburn. And it's all the little things you need to do to secure a victory and move on. Look at guarding in space, not going for the dribble. Okay, keep my man in front, then at the end I'm going to contest without fouling.
Jemiah Neal is a guy that absolutely torches big men in the Big East on that kind of play. Cardwell stayed with him step for step.
But Cardwell gave him space, okay, and he knew he could step up and contest, and there he is over the back that time. He got caught on that one. But the key with a big guarding on the perimeter, give enough space that you can recover and contest a shot if a pull-up were to occur.
Chaney Johnson will enter for Auburn. Cardwell will take a seat. 3.5 minutes into this second half. Been a back and forth affair. Little mini runs throughout. Both teams have answered the big punches of their opponent. Creighton coming out of that Big East. Made it to the Big East tournament title game. Lost to St. John's. Here's McAndrew. Only a second miss. Kalkbrenner offensive rebound. Backs his way in. There you go. That's what Creighton wants to see from Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Sometimes 7 foot is 7 foot. There's nothing you can do about it. And the patience, the footwork, and then the touch by Kalkbrenner to finish. And look at
Baker Mazzara knifing his way in and one. He is so explosive. Chad Baker Mazzara. He's off to a great start here in this second half. A reminder, you can watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break presented by AT&T in the March Madness Live app. Well, the game plan for Creighton in the paint. Non-stop protection presented by Degree, Jim.
Yeah, but how do you negate the 4-time Big East defensive player of the year? Where you seal him inside, you pin him. Cardwell seals Kalkbrenner inside. Here's a drive. Denia Boone seals Kalkbrenner. So now he can't just stand in the middle of the lane and impact the shot. That is a very, very smart schematic adjustment that Bruce Pearl and his coaching staff have implemented. The key is now, Coach Red McDermott knows about it. What are his adjustments to that in the second half?
Baker Mazzara can't finish off a 3-point chance. Auburn leads it by 3. Second time they've been a 1 seed in program history. First time they have ever been the overall #1 seed. Trying to survive Lexington and Creighton and advance to the Sweet 16 in Atlanta. Creighton is a handful, as you can tell. Jemiah Neal open for 3. Got it. First real open shot he's had. And Neal reins one in. His first made 3. Gives him 8 points.
Yeah, but that was all created by Steven Ashworth. By not discontinuing his dribble, he was able to navigate, pull the defense, and get Neal that open jump shot.
Baker Mazzara just fires one off Zugic. Saves the possession. Zugic took that one right to the face.
And listen, I know this play too well because I played with Steve Nash. And Steve would do this, and I'd just say, let me find the opening, get the spot, set my puppies, and let it go.
Allie LaForce, a Steve Nash and a Steven Ashworth connection there.
I know as broadcasters we were hoping there was something to that, but we actually asked Steven, and he said his dad was a big analytics guy, helped coach the high school team. So growing up, it was always watching film of Steve Nash, his desire to bring the team together, keeping the dribble underneath the basket, his shooting. I mean, he really has modeled his game since middle school after Steve.
Trusted his father that a little guy could succeed in this game, and now Steven Ashworth, a father himself, got a 9-month-old in the stands, little Tommy boy, became a viral sensation Thursday. There he is. Yeah, he's living a good life. And first time in the NCAA tournament as a father for Stephen Ashworth.
I have to talk to Steven. This past Tommy Boy's bedtime, man.
He's all in for it. Pettiford sidestep. And Pettiford hits. Tell you, Tahad Pettiford, he got a lot of sauce in his game. I don't know how long he's going to be at Auburn, but he is a producer.
I tell you, Jeff Teague yesterday, he has all the makings of a high-quality, high-effective NBA point guard. And now, starting to free it up. Guess what? It came off the playmaking of Stephen Ashworth once again. 2 clean looks. 2 clean baskets.
11 made threes for Creighton, and now Neal defensively forces the turnover.
Inside out, Pettiford ran off the 3-point line, but the little step back, rhythm dribble, splash, and then on here the defense was able to poke it away and create a turnover. Eventually get the 3 on the other end.
Creighton a chance to take the lead. Trying to add to their points off turnovers. Kalkbrenner going old school here. Big men battle. Broom pulled the chair and a foul. Kalkbrenner almost traveled with it. The whistle on Janai Broom comes first. And Ryan Kalkbrenner will go to the free throw line.
Janai Broom did an excellent job of uprooting Kalkbrenner, pushing him up the lane. But the problem is he had so much space to work with. When he spent back to the left, that's where he created the foul.
Tell you what a matchup we're watching here. What a treat. Look at this list here. Players with 2,100 and 350 on the blocks or more. Look, the first 5 guys on that list were all #1 draft picks. And then Kalkbrenner and Janai Broom. Now, there's a 5th year involved with both of these players. And so for the totality, but they've been great players. As Baker Mazzara scores another one and a chance at a 3-point play again. Boy, he's taken over here in the second half.
Well, KYP, Bruce Pearl, know your personnel. You want to get Baker Mazzara on the move and use that 6'7" frame to get him in the lane. So a lot of the plays that have been created and orchestrated for him are coming off the weak side. He's able to catch, dribble, get in the lane, use that soft touch, and then convert.
Allie, the well-traveled Chad Baker Mazzara has found a home here at Auburn.
He has, and Coach called him the key to our team. He said, I believe in letting kids be who they are. He's passionate and sometimes over the top, but if he isn't playing with an edge, then he's just like everybody else. His teammates love him. He's good enough to get us to the penthouse or the outhouse. Quite a line.
And that's how it goes. Remember, he was ejected from an NCAA tournament game last year at round 1 and a loss to Yale as Chaney Johnson with a steal. Pettiford at the controls. Zugic guarding him.
And I would say we've seen some uncharacteristic turnovers by Stephen Ashworth, but a lot of that you got to give credit to this Auburn defense for forcing those decisions.
Baker Mazzara gets to the corner and is fouled. He took a shot to the hip, and he is down in pain. Baker Mazzara just slashing his way to the basket.
Once again, coming from the weak side. Look, now he has Jemiah Neal on his hip. So you can't recover to get in front of him. The only thing you can try to do is block it from the back. And Baker Mazzara is so quick and long, you end up getting a foul. You see the hand in the back? Because you just can't get to him. And that's what I tell players all the time. Utilize moving without the ball so when you catch it, you have a slight and distinct advantage to kind of get to where you want to go.
He's uncomfortable. He took a knee, Jemiah Neal's knee, right to the side as he knocks down the free throw. He's had 2 and 1 chances, and now 2 foul shots with Janai Broom on the bench, the player of the year in the SEC. Key minutes for Auburn, and Baker Mazzara is filling it up.
Let me tell you something. You ain't that uncomfortable when you're shooting the score, okay? You might be uncomfortable when you go back on the defensive end, but you figure out a way to feel, look, well, I ain't going to say he's in pain right now. But
he knocked the free throws down.
You knocked the free throws down, I can tell you that.
The ball has healing powers, but he is really hurting. And they're going to have to make a move here. Ja'Kai Howard is coming off the Auburn bench, the freshman.
Well, he's motioning to the bench right there on the way back, kind of with his hands. Watch him right there, right there. And he does it again.
He has scored 11 of the 18 second half points for Auburn after he had just 5 points on Thursday night against Alabama State. The Baker Mazara exits with 17 points. He's going to the locker room. Ashworth missed it. Kept alive. Pettiford.
Well, let's timestamp that when Baker Mazara left the game, not just from the offensive perspective, but his ability to defend on the defensive end.
Oh, Denver Jones rips it back and rips the cords. Jones has hit a couple of big threes. It's an 8-0 run. Auburn up 6. Got a man open. Neal didn't see him. Neal fires an air ball, and Kalkbrenner's out of bounds. Well, McAndrew was wide open by himself underneath.
Well, you see Jones with the shot, pull back, step back. You talk about Neal. Neal already had it in his mind that the shot was going up, therefore didn't see an open teammate.
Jimmy, Denver Jones has 10 points. He's made 2 threes. If he gives you offense with his excellent defense, Auburn is tough to beat. Now he's dishing, and Cardwell is bringing the rim down. Timeout. Biggest lead. Auburn up 8. Dylan Cardwell is having his moment at the NCAA tournament. Big fella, go do it. You can stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. This is a 10-0 Auburn run, and it has been quick, Jimmy. In 1 minute and 36, they've jumped out to an 8-point lead despite Creighton knocking down 11 three-pointers.
Well, Coach Bruce Pearl talked in his press conference. One, we needed to cut down careless turnovers, sticking to the game plan defensively, and too many my turn shots, meaning I just need to take it my turn, your turn. By sticking to that plan offensively and defensively, Auburn has really been effective, in particular in the second half.
Shooters on the floor around Kalkbrenner. He's open inside. Mismatch. Chaney Johnson got stuck on Kalkbrenner. And Kalkbrenner with a flush. He's got 11. He's made half his shots. Led the Big East in field goal percentage this year. A lot of them just like that. Jones with a push-off. Offensive foul. And an Auburn turnover. As we go to timeout, 6-point game.
And Kalkbrenner finally being able to free up some space. Excellent design play. Got Creighton down 6.
6-point game here. Auburn has the lead. And Chad Baker Mazara coming back onto the bench. Allie, that is ice on his hip, not heat.
That's right. They're calling it a right hip bruise. They're still evaluating him, they told me, but as you can see, he's out here. So I think staying loose is going to be the key right now until coach gives him the green light.
Thank you, Allie. Kalkbrenner scores inside. Jimmy's starting to loosen up inside now for the big man.
But the play calling has been able to isolate Kalkbrenner one-on-one. And as the passer, it's up to you to deliver. And on 2 of the last offensive possessions, they've been successful getting Ryan the ball down low.
Little push shot. Nice little floater by Denver Jones. Jones stacking him up here. He's got 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting. And now Johnson ending up on Ashworth, gets a little space and misses the 3. And that's going the other way.
Well, I mean,
McAndrew on the baseline.
Right, and the difference is those 2-point shots open up because first half Auburn 3 for 11 from the 3-point line, 4 for 6 in the second. So Bruce Pearl talked about with Kalkbrenner playing back, drop coverage, we're going to have to make some tough twos. You saw Denver Jones right there kind of navigate his way down. You put that combination with now shooting from behind 3, you're going to have multiple options to maybe get Janai Bruin some space to work a little bit more inside and get his offense going.
Baker Mazara looks like he's trying to at least try to ramp up to come back in. We'll keep an eye on him.
If I was playing like him too, I was trying to everything I could do to get back in this game without jeopardizing my team.
Pettiford got it. Nice little run by Pettiford. So Jones and then Pettiford and the 2 point guards who are scorers first, able to deliver in the last 2 possessions. It's back to an 8-point Auburn lead. Jemiah Neal guarded by Pettiford. Looking inside, Kalkbrenner. High class matchup here. Broom and Kalkbrenner. 6 to shoot, and Pettiford with a foul. Oh. By the way, you see how explosive Neal is. But a foul on the floor, and it'll be side out. Reset it to 20.
Well, patience, a little hesitation that time again. Once again, it's Janai Broom that occupies Ryan Kalkbrenner, so he can't even contest a shot or even attempt to.
Neal inside to Kalkbrenner. They clear it out. Kalkbrenner and Broom. Kalkbrenner lowering the shoulder, and a foul on Janai Broom. You could see Greg McDermott calling it from over there, just offering his suggestions to the officiating crew.
But you know the difference here? Ryan Kalkbrenner going to his left right there, didn't get pushed up the lane. So Janai Broom didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a difference. You know, on this side of the block, Ryan able to get that right shoulder right into the middle of Janai Broom and move him backwards, got him deep penetration.
Jimmy, that's the 6th foul for Auburn. Next one's going to send Creighton into the bonus, the 1-1, and we got a long way to go here with 10 minutes remaining in regulation, halfway through the second half. Creighton with the ball down 8. Neal got Broom on him, got a mismatch underneath if they want it.
Yeah, but Broom doing a good job of denying that pass.
Late clock, Ashworth lets it fly. Into the neck it goes. Broom doing the dirty work right there to save that possession for Auburn. Auburn can go back up double figures. Here's Pettiford. Pettiford, step back on Ashworth. Nope. And McAndrew clears. Creighton needing a bucket. They answered a 10-0 run. Back-to-back possessions. Ashworth. Again, Broom on him. Quick entry this time, but Chaney Johnson behind Ryan Kalkbrenner. It'll be Creighton ball, 11 to shoot.
I tell you what, Auburn has done a great job of taking away the middle pick and roll slip for Kalkbrenner. Remember in the last game against Louisville, he had a lot of action in that play, and Auburn has completely taken that option away from Creighton.
Kick ball, reset the shot clock to 20. And the field goal percentage, Auburn hitting their shots and making their threes here in the second half as well. They kind of turned the tables on Creighton. Creighton made 9 threes in the first half, just 2 in the second half, while Auburn's hit 4 3-pointers in the second half.
But Brian, Creighton hasn't been out in transition or even pushed it in their secondary break. They got a lot of those early threes created when they were able to push the ball, had openings, but in the second half that has not been the case. So credit again the defense for Auburn.
Ashworth and blocked from behind. Cardwell. It'll be Creighton ball. Ashworth got a step on Cardwell, but he was patient and he rolls in for another block. That's his second.
Yeah, he pursued without fouling.
Ten to shoot. Long time for Auburn to play defense down here. Kalkbrenner. Clock ticks down to 6. Ashworth looking for McAndrew. Catches it deep. Got to get a shot up. In the corner, tough shot. No. Boy, Auburn stifling defensively.
That's where Jackson McAndrew, when he gets stronger, more confident, he's taking that pass, gathering himself, and either getting the basket or and one, or at least picking up a foul and not throwing it out.
They've shut McAndrew off, denied him. That was his first shot of the second half. Made 4 threes in the first half, and now Jason Green is going to be called for the foul on Broom. That's going to be his 4th foul. And decision time here for Greg McDermott.
Hand-to-hand combat right there. And right there, Jason Green, I understand where his real estate is at. Janai Broom is out there. You don't have to fight him. You did your job by pushing him off the block. But to continue to engage in hand combat, you're not going to win that battle.
Greg McDermott made a change, but he kept Green on the floor. He brings in Isaac Trout. Yeah, and it's McAndrew that sits.
Yeah, but he put Kalkbrenner on Broom.
Up and over Kalkbrenner. Skillful shot by Tahad Pettiford on the run. Creighton turned away. Cardwell, he is running the floor. And Kalkbrenner can't hit it. I mean, Dylan Cardwell is having a game. Hustling his way down the floor. Denying Creighton. Prayers are up from the Blue Jay fans. Auburn up 10 with their largest lead of the game. Pettiford, ball control here, down to 5. Janai Broom, shot fake, drives it, leaves it up top, too tall, gets it back, gets it off in time. I think Cardwell is cramping. He's grabbing at his hamstring. And Auburn will take the timeout. 12-point Auburn lead. And Dylan Cardwell is down. Trying to stretch him out. Dylan Cardwell still being tended to. Athletic trainer Clark Pearson over there. And it would appear to be visually, looks like how you would treat cramping in the leg. He went up for that lob, and the impact coming down on that right leg, he went down right away. And during that timeout, just trying to pump him with fluids, had the Theragun out on his leg. And Dylan Cardwell will sit. So Bruce Pearl also hydrating. Has seen this Auburn Tiger team go on an 18-4 run in 6.5 minutes. Creighton has missed all 3 of their threes in that stretch. Tahad Pettiford and Denver Jones and others. Ever since Baker Mazzara left, Auburn's been on a 13-4 run since that moment.
Yeah, and outside those 2 post up by Ryan Kalkbrenner. Defensively, they locked in, and right now, a chance to kind of cut into this with a freebie or 2. Jemiah Neal not able to take advantage of the 1-and-1.
And Pettiford's going to use some clock here. Possession game the rest of the way as we approach the 7-minute mark. Auburn up 12. Denver Jones inside. Broom hanging his way in. And that's going to be a whistle and a foul. Isaac Trout defending. And he's called for the foul. 2 free throws coming for Janai Broom. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com.
You know, that pick and roll coverage right there was a little bit different. This time, instead of Ryan Kalkbrenner kind of playing drop, he hedged, he showed, he tried to force Pettiford to the baseline, to the sideline, which was great. But once the ball got reversed on the weak side, it was a 2-on-1. Kalkbrenner still was out of the paint. That gave Janai Broom that 1-on-1 matchup with Trout.
Janai Broom having some troubles at the free throw line. He misses both. He was just 4 for 9 on Thursday. Auburn gets it back to a great save by Johnson. Broom springs inside, lost the handle, and Broom passes it off Ashworth. Let's see the call. Officials come together.
I think it went off Broom.
And waiting on a call here. Creighton ball.
Yeah, Broom was on the ground. Great hustle here by the Tigers, and watch the ball kind of get batted around. He's not out there. He's tried, saves it there. Boom, right there. It touches him while it's back. He's on the baseline.
Officials got together. Brett Hampton and Steven Anderson got it right. Creighton in desperate need of a basket. Going 5 minutes without scoring. Kick to the corner. McAndrew, that's the guy. He misses. 4 made threes in the first half. He has not been able to hit one in half number 2. And Auburn still leads by 12.
And kind of out of rhythm. That shot he had, he was there ready to take it, but not being able to have the clean looks early. Not the same rhythm.
Auburn's got Creighton right where they want him. Pettiford fouled. And free throws coming. Tahad Pettiford. 5-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, Auburn's 7th ever McDonald's All-American. He was rated as the #2 point guard. And he's having a nice round 2 performance here with 14 points, 6 rebounds. Give him 15.
It's just growing. Again, like I said, he had a rough stretch 2 games during the SEC tournament. But his teammates, coaching staff, and he himself had confidence that that wasn't going to affect him once they got into the tournament, and that's the case. And the thing I love the way he's playing, Brian, he's not trying to prove something. He's running the team the way Bruce Pearl needs him to, and as a result, his shots are coming to him in rhythm.
Great point. He got shut out in the SEC tournament semifinal game. Ball's loose. Broom comes up with it. Stripped it out of Kalkbrenner's hands. And now Auburn and their fans are starting to feel this. 10 Creighton turnovers now. Back in Pettiford's hands. 2-man game with Broom. Pettiford gives it up. Broom's going to fire for 3. No. McAndrew, the rebound. Creighton knows they have to go fast. They're running out of possessions in this game. They need 3s, and they're more than capable. Zugic hits a tough 3.
You're right on point on that one, Brian.
First field goal, Jimmy, since the 11:44 mark of this second half.
Now you called it. They need to get out and run. But the only way you can get out and run, you got to get stops on the defensive end. The ball is going through the net. Unless you can kick it up quick, you're not going to have those advantages you would have in transition.
Creighton goes over 6 minutes without a bucket. Jones, a lot of moves underneath. Keeps his dribble, late clock, 3-pointer, air ball. It's going to be a shot clock violation. So Creighton gets a 3. They get a stop. They're down 11.
I mean, a lot of time in this game, but the good teams, the great teams kind of lean on you. Next thing you know, the lead goes from 2 to 4 to 8. And then it's double figures, but yet and still, 11-point game with a little under 5 minutes to go. Creighton very capable. Tighten this thing up a little bit.
Ashworth pulls Broom out. Looking for Kalkbrenner inside. Got the matchup they want again. Kalkbrenner just powers his way in on Chaney Johnson. Chaney Johnson is giving up 5 inches in there to the 7-1 Kalkbrenner. No contest.
Yeah, but when you have Ashworth as the entry pass, you can't help off of him because of the threat of the 3-point shot, which gave Kalkbrenner room to work with inside.
Single-digit game. McAndrew forces the steal. Here comes Creighton. Neal, baseline, hammer. Here come the Blue Jays. Bruce Pearl wants to talk it over. It's a 7-0 run for Creighton. Injury reports from that Auburn sideline. Let's hear from Allie LaForce.
Ryan, Baker Mazara is checking back in the game right now. He had the hip bruise. He was doing some side-to-side motion on the sideline trying to stay loose, and he was grimacing. He looked uncomfortable, but he feels comfortable enough to at least give this a go. Remember, they had to use a timeout to get him out of the game, so now they're down to 1. As for Cardwell, who was dealing with cramps in his calf, he is continuing to ride the bike. Coach just went around the corner before that last time out to check to see where he was, saw him on the bike, so he's trying to keep it loose in case they decide to put him in later in this game.
All right, good stuff, Allie. Thank you for that. Excellent reporting, and 2 major impact players for Bruce Pearl down the stretch here, Jim.
Yeah, Cardwell kind of doing a little bit of everything. Big body, you don't have to double team Ryan Kalkbrenner. Then Baker Mazara, you know what he can do offensively, in particular in space.
Auburn with the ball here. Creighton down 7. 7-0 run. Janai Broom off 1 foot, got stuck. I thought he took a little skip there, actually. Might have got away with the one. Late clock again. Here's Broom in traffic, puts it up and scores. It wasn't pretty, but it goes, and it's a big basket for Auburn.
But once again, it was getting Kalkbrenner out the paint. That time the hard hedge left Broom in the middle in that short roll.
Neal to McAndrew. McAndrew picks up his dribble. Now they clear it out. Neal guarded by Pettiford. Neal lost the handle. Gets it back. Kalkbrenner for 3. Air ball. McAndrew can't save it. Here comes Auburn. Clock ticks. We approach the 3-minute mark. Allie made a good point. Auburn with just one timeout left. The floater is true by Tahad Pettiford.
And he read the double team perfectly and split it right down the middle, Brian.
So he just waved bye-bye. Maybe a little premature, but he's feeling it, and he picks up the foul.
Well, Coach Greg McDermott is yelling for Jackson McAndrew to come up right here, but not, excuse me, Pettiford right here, and again, making the floaters, the in-between shots. Pettiford, bye-bye, waving to his peeps over in the stands.
At the 3-minute mark, we'll call that a hello wave.
Yeah, hello, not goodbye yet.
Becca Mazzara just,
both of them.
He can't do it, and Dylan Cardwell as well. So those are the two guys Allie just reported on, and they are out. And Auburn leads by 11 with Zugic at the line. 1-1, knocks down the first.
Well, and not that this game is over. She got 3 minutes left, but I know Bruce Pro and the coaching staff is saying if we can get out of here and be able to rest those two players, let's take a look at that. Now it's among the 5 that's on the court right here to do their job to close it out, and it's not going to be easy with this high explosive Creighton team that can knock down threes from anywhere.
Baker Mazzara is upset that he can't give it a go. Took that knee to the side, and he sat for over 9 minutes and just couldn't respond. Full court pressure, and it'll be Auburn ball. Jason Green back on the floor for the Blue Jays with the 4 fouls.
You Creighton too. Listen, if you got some threes, you knock it in, but let's see if you can get some quick scores. Okay, Auburn doesn't really want to foul, but this may be opportunities for you to do that, but you can't do anything offensively if you're unable to stop this Auburn offense.
Bruce Pearl with his ball handlers on the floor. Pettiford and Jones have been excellent in this game tonight. Pettiford's got 18. The freshman again splits the double. The floater, no good. Zugic did not see Neal up ahead, but he draws the contact. That was crafty by Zugic. Fedor Zugic going back to the free throw line.
And why is that important? He missed Neal streaking up the sideline. You pick up a foul, more important, and you're able to get to the free throw line while the clock is stopped. And then you make 2, you can set your defense as well. So a lot of positives can come out of picking up that foul.
Auburn went on a 20-4 run, gave them their largest lead of the game at 14. Creighton then had a quick 7-0 burst, got it to within 7. And now Zugic back at the line after just knocking down 2. It's the first. Don't miss the hit animated comedy thriller Common Side Effects. New episode airs Sunday on Adult Swim. You can catch up now on Max. Final 2.5 in regulation. The overall #1 seed, the Auburn Tigers. And the 9 seed Creighton as McAndrew re-enters. Zugic will sit. Going a little offense defense here for Greg McDermott. Full court pressure's on. And Pettiford, and he's fouled, and I think that was Green.
Yeah.
Green fouls him, which is going to be his 5th.
And he said you got a trap. It's a loose trap. And as tricky and as great of a ball handler that Tahad Pettiford is, any sliver of space he's going to get through and exploit. So that trap has to be tight and big. Okay.
Jason Green, Omaha native, Millard North High School, has fouled out. And McDermott's going to take as much time as the officials will allow. Zugic is going to return for Creighton. The free throws here for Auburn. Next Auburn foul is going to send Creighton to the line for 2. Still in the 1-1 here for the Tigers. Pettiford 2 out of 3 from the line. 80% free throw shooter during the season. 2 for 2 at the line, I should say. And now make it 2 out of 3. And he gets one more.
And I tell you what, 12 turnovers last game for Auburn. Right now, only 7. Now, Creighton is not a team that forces a lot of turnovers, but in high-pressure games like this, if you're not focused in, that's when you get those unforced turnovers. And we haven't seen that from Auburn. That's a point of emphasis for Coach Bruce Pearl coming into this game. So excellent job by those young men of valuing the basketball.
Todd Pettiford, 16 in round 1. He's got 20 here in this round 2 matchup against Creighton. He's a star. Kelly guarding Neal. Creighton inside to Kalkbrenner. Two-handed jam. Auburn will settle for allowing the 2s. Timeout. Creighton. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Creighton has the possession arrow. Both teams in the bonus. The only previous NCAA tournament meeting between these 2 teams in the first round, 2000. Creighton down 9. 13 seconds left. A furious rally saw him cut the deficit to 3. Ben Walker's potential game-tying 3 was blocked. Mamadou Njai, the 7-footer, got the block. And Auburn in a very similar position right now with 2 minutes to go. And they lead it by 7. Baker Mazzara back on the floor. He's a good free throw shooter. I'm sure Bruce Pearl wants him out there to see if he can at least shoot a foul shot. Clock ticks. Creighton playing it straight up here. Here's Kelly. Kelly met by a double team. No good. Kalkbrenner fight for the rebound. And that's a foul on Chaney Johnson, which is going to mean free throws here for Creighton.
And it's one of those situations, you got to know time and score, okay? And the inside wrap of the arm is right when they call the foul. You're not going to get it. The best thing you can do with your Chaney Johnson is hook and release. Let it go, get back. Once again, Creighton to the free throw line. Chance to cut into this lead, then try to force a steal. If you can get to that second free throw and make it.
2 shots here. Kalkbrenner knocks down the first. 68% free throw shooter. And these are the heavy pressured free throws right now as Broom re-enters. Kalkbrenner in and out. Just 1 out of 2. Auburn by 6 with the ball. Minute and a half to go. Trip to the Sweet 16 on the line. Auburn playing keep away here. Creighton going to play it straight up. Going to try to get a stop. 5 to shoot. Denver Jones on the drive. Jones shot fake, fouled, and it goes! Denver Jones! A chance at a 3-point play. Oh, he dropped a night-night on him, and it just might be.
And Brian, an excellent job before the shot of Auburn keeping the ball in the middle of the court. A lot harder double team, and the discipline that time for Denver Jones to play off 2 feet to get Jemiah Neal in the air and now have a chance at a old-fashioned 3-point play.
Big one. 15 points for Jones. 11 and a half. Desperation time now for Creighton. Ashworth gets stuck. Reset for 3. Puts it up over Broom. No good. And that's a foul. A push by McAndrew. And as we go under a minute, it'll be Auburn ball. And they're starting to make their plans for Atlanta, Georgia, and the Sweet 16.
Now, if you haven't seen Auburn play much this year, the beauty of this team is being able to play in different styles. You can get up and down, but if you have to grind it out a little bit, they still feel comfortable enough in that space to operate. When you have a post player like Janai Broome that you can go to when you need tough baskets. You know, right now, different players stepping up. Denver Jones, Chad Baker-Mazara, Dylan Cardwell with the defense and all the little things. It's the reason why they're #1 seed, my man.
I'll tell you, these three guards here, stacking them up. Pettiford 22, Jones with 15, Baker-Mazara with 17. McAndrew blocked by Broome. And Auburn ready to take a victory lap. They have not survived the first weekend of the NCAA tournament since Bruce Pearl's Final Four team in 2019. And they knew it was going to be a grind to get through Lexington. Now they're on their way to their backyard in Atlanta.
I mean, this coming into this, and you talked about it, this Auburn program is 5-6 in the round of 32, able to get off the schneid that you talked about since 2019, and you got one big guy you had to deal with. Now you got 2 7-footers in Michigan that you're going to have to contend with, and those two both complement each other inside and out very well. But Auburn survive in advance, baby.
Michigan, the 5 seed. They beat A&M a little bit earlier tonight, and that'll be the matchup of the Sweet 16. It is a loaded South region. Michigan State, you got New Mexico still alive. Iowa State and Ole Miss play tomorrow. And to be the overall #1 seed and have to go through a gauntlet. Greg McDermott's team, they just continue to win. They've had 5 straight years where they've won a first-round game of the NCAA tournament. They made it to the Big East final, losing to St. John's. And Jemiah Neal, just the Toledo native, a brilliant season for the Creighton Blue Jays. And his record-setting 29-point performance on Thursday against Louisville. Been a workhorse for him. And Stephen Ashworth, Utah State transfer. Proud Papa. Ashworth went for 22 against Louisville. Tommy Boy won't remember it, but there'll be a lot of video for him to look at.
No, he will. I mean, yeah, stayed up for it. He said, I got to stay up to watch Papa all night. Look at him.
And Ryan Kalkbrenner, one of the all-time Creighton legends. And what a career. Led the Big East, blocks and rebounds and field goal percentage. Defensive Player of the Year 4 consecutive years. Only Patrick Ewing had ever done that. 3rd-team All-America. Sporting News had him as a 1st-team All-America selection. And a brilliant career is over for Ryan Kalkbrenner. Been a joy to watch his games, Jimmy.
I mean, we've seen all 5 of them. I mean, just to grow from his freshman year, the potential, and then the knee injury, coming back from that, kind of putting this Creighton program on his back. And what officials say to you?
Too long of a delay. Play on.
Play on. Play on.
Hey, we're not mad at that.
Nah. But Auburn doing what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
You know, that's, you accept the challenge, you scout, you scheme, and then you execute. And that's what they were able to do this evening through a tough start with Creighton raining 3s.
2 outstanding coaches. A lot of respect for each other. First time they've ever matched up. And Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers advance to the Sweet 16. Headed to Atlanta, Georgia. And a date with Michigan. 16 times. The 6th of the Sweet 16. And how sweet that is for Bruce Pearl. He just turned 65 on Tuesday. Auburn win. as they take out Creighton, the 9 seed. And now the 1-5 matchup. SEC and the Big Ten. Big Ten has not lost yet in this NCAA tournament. 10-0 at this point. And Creighton's season comes to an end. 25 wins. And the end of the Ryan Kalkbrenner era in Omaha.
Bruce Pearl figured it out. Give him a little space to create a game plan as good as any.
Auburn with their 30th victory. Said they won the regular season national championship. Now they got to do it when it counts. And the NCAA tournament and the 2-0 and moving on to the Sweet 16 as we send it to Allie LaForce.
Well, Tahad, did you feel like a 1 seed out there?
Definitely. We took control early in the game, and I just came out trying to help my team no matter how I could do it.
Baker, Mazzara, and Cardwell, they were ignition for you guys to start the first half and the second. They were banged up, though. How did you guys make the unit greater than one?
It just shows how deep our team is and the depth that we have. You know, 2 guys went down, but 2 other people stepped up. So that was just a big part of the game, and I'm happy that we did it.
As a 1 seed, have you been visualizing what it's like to go to the Sweet 16?
Definitely. You know, going back to Atlanta, that's like home for us. So it was huge making it there. So we just can't wait to get back and have the fans come and watch.
Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Still jacked up. Tahad Pettiford. Auburn ties their most wins in a single season. 30 wins, and they're hoping for more as the overall #1 seed. We're going to be back on this floor in just a bit. UCLA and Tennessee right here on TBS. Tune in to TNT and CBS right now for live second-round games. We'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central after these messages. Auburn, War Eagle, moving on.